Bonnie and Clyde is a film that follows the star-crossed lovers turned bank robbers through their lives and death. This film, to me at least, isn't interesting. I've gone into before how the crime psychological subgenre that I have a mixed relationship with. I've gone into that before, like with M and the Public Enemy and Joker. We'll get into that a little later because I want to get through the good stuff first. This film follows Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow as they make their way across America, robbing and stealing from banks. Bonnie Parker is played by Faye Dunaway, Academy Award winner for the movie I Can't Shut Up About, Network. You were thinking I was going to say Logan, but no. That's coming later. I guarantee it. Faye Dunaway gives a very subtle performance that shows how much she loves, but at the same time is fearful of Clyde. Her performance is very subtle and it's nuanced. She knows when to be all sexy and go with the flow and be okay with killing people. And then she goes back and is like, what am I doing with my life? You kind of see that switch in the end of the second act. But then, by then, she's lost. She's too far gone to go back. Warren Beatty's performance as Clyde is also really good. His isn't as subtle, but it's kind of easier. It's interesting because it's like a switch. One side is his loving side for Bonnie, and the other side is his psychotic kind of side, and he flips between the two a lot through the movie, and it's very well done. And you can see like the switches in his facial motions and stuff. It's really cool. And Gene Hackman, he's just fun. Another thing this film did really well, for me at least, was the blood and gore effects. Yes, blood and gore is something reserved for mostly horror movies, but I enjoyed most of the effects in it. They were very real and they looked really good. Even for today's standards, it's not that bloody compared to other things, which I'm not even going to get into that debate over violence. Just not. That's old hat. The editing I can praise really well, actually, because the editing is really fast. It's really snappy. Yes, there are a few hiccups every now and again, but like overall, the car chase with like cutting back to the witnesses, that was really cool and kind of funny in a way, because I'm like, really? It just was interesting in that aspect. The funny thing about the writers for me is that both of them wrote Superman. One of them wrote Superman 2, 3, and 4, that thing. And the other one went on to write Kramer vs. Kramer. Best Picture winner a few years after, I'm not sure on the year, but still, these writers have talent. It's kind of similar to the writer who wrote Arrival, and then went on to write Bird Box. I don't get it. The writing is pretty good. Each character is well defined, and you get what they're gonna go for with their lines. But for me, I feel like the beginning was a little too fast. I wish we had a little bit of backstory behind Bonnie, what her life was like, who she was, why she decided to do that. But again, it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I wish we could have seen her life before Clyde. That's just me. Another thing the movie I wasn't 100% sure on was whether it wanted to make them villains or heroes. Because when you get into the third act, they're despicable. Same thing with the second. But there's in between those parts, there's little glimmers of this, they could be good in there, and I don't think that was the intention, but I don't know. Regardless, I do want to compare this movie to one movie in particular. Thelma and Louise, directed by Ridley Scott, and they're kind of similar movies. Both of them do crime out of the whim. But however, in Thelma and Louise, you feel bad for them because it was self-defense, and they slowly have a downward spiral due to other people. Yes, it's similar to this, but it's just interesting, and I find it an interesting comparison that both of them have. I gotta go a little bit into historical stuff here for a second. When when this movie was made, they were switching from the Hays Code and all that stuff to the MPAA. If the MPAA didn't get created, this movie honestly wouldn't be made or be the same, because the movie has blood, guts, and has some subject matter like sex, and has a whole long shot in the beginning that's basically her almost completely naked, but it covers her breasts up for the majority of the shot, which I think is a really cool shot. Yeah, and honestly, if that didn't happen, this movie wouldn't be the same. Regardless, this movie's pretty good. I can't knock it for anything, but I can't praise it for much more than what I've already did. Overall, this is a pretty okay movie. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Go check out my stuff in the description, and yeah, have a good day.